I've talked about and reviewed the history of many companies and many diecast replicas of the machines that the companies made and drove. I have reviewed cars, trucks, fire trucks, farm tractors, and planes. But today, I'm going to talk about one of GMC's most successful automotive products, the GMC line of buses. Hi, I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'm back with another episode of Toy Talk. Public transportation. It has taken many forms, but the most successful is the bus. GM's first buses were not originally directly made by GM. They were built by Yellow Coach from 1940 to 1943. GM's truck and bus division took over bus production in 1944 and produced buses until 1977 in the U.S. and 1985 in Canada. They were assembled in Pontiac, Michigan. GM grouped their buses into two groups, the GM Old Look buses and the GM New Look buses. The GM Old Look bus was a transit bus that was introduced in 1940 by Yellow Coach. Wait, I thought I was going to talk about GM buses. So, who was the Yellow Coach Manufacturing Company? Good question. John D. Hertz and Associates began acquiring smaller Chicago area companies involved in bus building in 1922. The Yellow Coach Manufacturing Company was formally established in 1923 as a subsidiary of Hertz's Yellow Cab Company, and they sold 207 buses in its first year. Yes, that's right. I said John D. Hertz of Hertz Car Rental Company today. Fascinating, to quote Spock. Yellow Coach manufactured passenger buses in the United States. Between 1923 and 1943, Yellow Coach built transit buses, electric-powered trolleys, and parlor coaches. In 1925, GM purchased a majority stake in Yellow Coach and renamed the company Yellow Truck and Coach Manufacturing Company. After GM completely acquired the company in 1943, it was merged with GM's truck division to form the GM Truck and Coach division. The Yellow Coach badge gave way to the GM nameplate in 1944. Production of most Old Look models was stopped upon the release of the GM New Look bus in 1959. However, some Old Look buses remained in limited production for a short time to meet the customer's need for smaller buses. That's the basic history of GM's entry into bus manufacturing. Today, I want to review a Corgi Model 5302 40-foot second generation GM New Look Suburban transit bus that was designed and introduced to the marketplace in 1963. The first generation New Look bus was introduced in 1959 with more streamlining, having larger side windows and a massive front window. The New Look bus was welcomed by the public and drivers alike, featuring large side windows and a fishbowl-style front window. Because of the large, distinctive six-piece front window, the bus was nicknamed the Fishbowl. Drivers liked the visibility the front window gave them. Many other improvements led to passenger comforts and drivers' ease of operation of the New Look bus. The steering was improved substantially because of the lower weight of advanced aluminum stressed skin construction. Both drivers and passengers benefited by the new air suspension system. The increase in riding comfort was dramatic. GM made other improvements over the years of production. GM improved the diesel power plant, and improvements were made to the Allison transmission. The new look bus was produced until 1977 in the US and until 1985 in Canada. More than 44,000 new look buses were built. Its high production figures and long service career made it an iconic North American transit bus. While it's been long phased out of city transit fleets, GM's new look buses will undoubtedly be seen on the roads as RVs and increasingly as restored classics or just party buses. And this, guys, is a second generation GM Fishbowl, a new look bus. The first generation came out in 59 to 64, and it had the distinctive 6-piece windshield, earning it the name Fishbowl. It was later replaced. The taillights were housed in streamlined nacelles modeled after afterburners. Side roof signals were in a geometric chrome strips. The GM logo was on a plaque with a black background. And the first year of production, buses were built with pantograph wipers instead of the single arm wipers. Now that's what makes up a first generation. But what we're talking about today, and this model here, is actually a second generation. And the big characteristic changes were the side roof signals were replaced with small bullet pods. The taillight nacelles were removed and just regular taillights. So not a whole lot of changes, but there were some changes. And this one here was made by Corgi in 1/50th scale. And we'll pick it up here. It was for the Chicago Transit Authority for their big Bicentennial celebration. The Transit Authority put it out that all buses and subway cars and elevated cars, everything in the transit department was to be painted silver with the red, white, and blue stripes. Of course, they left it all up to the individual shops to choose their paints, so we ended up with various shades of red, white, and blue, but they were all red, white, and blue. This one is bus number 1186, as you can see back there. It rides on 5-hole Bud style wheels, front and rear. They're painted silver, they're not chrome plated. The windows are all hard plastic, and then they have a chrome trim ring around them. I think that's a hot stamping process, but I'm not sure how they really did it. You can see the red, white, and blue stripe, the silver background, and the Chicago Bicentennial John Hancock logo right there below the driver's window. They also have a black stripe underneath at the bottom of the bus, and then they have that blacked out panel on this particular bus. Up there you can see the bullet style roof lights, front and rear, and then right above the window it says Chicago Transit Authority. Maybe if I pull it in you'll be able to see it. Chicago Transit Authority right there. You can also see that bullet style roof light. There's a turn signal marker light right there in front of the wheel. Wheels are hard plastic and they ride on soft rubber tires. Inside the bus, there's a driver's steering wheel with dashboard, driver's seat, and then multiple seats. Now the seat configuration is all forward facing. So this is a Suburban variant 5302. However, there's a small problem with it being a Suburban variant. It has 2 doors. Suburban variants did not have 2 doors. So this is a weird hybrid that they came up with. Up here you can see the air conditioner, because these buses were air conditioned and that's where they put it. They were also rear engine buses. There's another marker light and a grill piece. Underneath, I'll pull in up here because this is the most important part. These buses did not have ladder frames, you see, but they did have transverse mounted engines with 45-degree drive shafts. The transmission was actually at an angle and went to the drive shaft that way to drive the bus. A really, really unique powertrain setup that was only used, V transmissions were only ever used on these new look buses. They were all Detroit power, mostly 6V71s. Later on they did do some 8V71s, but they were mostly the 6Vs. Customers wanted the 8-cylinder and GM finally accommodated them. But the only thing that was not accessible from the outside on the engine was the exhaust manifold and the starter. The engines were actually mounted in a cradle, so they were easy to pop out. Within an hour, they could take an engine out and put a new one in. And then they could do major service to the engine if they needed to. Now, you don't see any ladder frame under here because these buses did not have a ladder frame. They had a stressed aluminum construction, a stressed skin construction, which means the weight and the strength of the bus is being held by the skin instead of a frame. Great design, worked well for the city buses. It didn't work so well for the scenic cruiser and their road buses. So, I don't know. They probably should have kept with a frame. Anyway, you can see the steering in the front. There's the steering shaft that goes there, steering couple, and it has the tie rod. Now this bus doesn't steer, but it does have good free rolling wheels, singles on the front and duals in the back. And this, I would imagine, is where the fuel tank is. There. Really great that they put some detail, but not a whole lot underneath. Don't really need it. There's also the air ride suspension, front and rear. Now, we'll flip over to the top. You can see how the pattern of the red, white, and blue makes a V right in the center. Really nice. You can also see the 3 roof marker lights up there in the center, and then the 2 bullet styles there. Towards the back, you can see the air conditioner, and that's the grill for it, for ventilation, and then there's the 2 bullet style roof lights. Really good job they did back there. Now we'll go over to the passenger side here, and then I'll come back to the front and the back. These buses actually had a kneeling feature, but they didn't replicate that well. It has a nameplate here of its next destination is 56A North Milwaukee. It has another bus number back there of 1186, and then it has the CTA logo above the front door. Why this really isn't a Suburban bus is it's got this second door. However, the interior configuration is with the seats all facing forward, makes it a Suburban bus. So they made a mistake. The interior should have had lateral seating instead of forward facing seating, because that's what the 2 doors are, or they should have taken the second set of doors out of their tooling. One or the other. Personally, I think they should have had the lateral seating because the city buses were cooler than the Suburban buses. Both doors have windows in them, but the doors don't open. There's also a mount here and one on the other side for the mirror, which I didn't actually take out of the box because they have a tendency of falling off and getting lost, and I don't want to lose them. There's hard plastic windows all around, and they did a great job replicating the fishbowl front window. Isn't that cool? Now this is the 6-piece window. You can see the frame goes down the center and then across there and there. Later that was replaced with a 3-piece window. No center bar. It has the single windshield wipers, headlights. Here are individual jewel style on both pieces. There's a turn signal, another marker light. There's an Illinois license plate, another Thaddeus Kolchak
sign right there. It says Chicago Transit Authority on the white there. And then look, red, blue, and white. And then there's a little white up there. Also, it has on the nameplate up there, 56A, Jefferson Park, Rapid Transport. Steering wheel, dashboard, really, really nice. Bus number is there, and then it's got a separately applied bumper. The windshield wipers are also separately applied. Bumper's molded out of plastic and painted silver. Flipping around to the back here, there we go. You can see the rest of the grill for the air conditioner, because these buses were air conditioned. Really nice for the customers. It has a 3-piece rear window. There's 2 bars. They're just molded pieces into it. They didn't chrome paint them or do anything. Big turn signals. And then brake lights, backup lights. Also another Illinois license plate. You can see the red, white, and blue stripe that comes all the way around. Really cool. Then there's the bumper. And it is, again, a separately applied molded piece. This bus is die-cast body. It has hard plastic windows and a hard plastic base and rubber tires. It did a really nice job. Of course, the interior is also all plastic on the bus. Doors don't open, but I'm not complaining. Interior is all black, and you can see there's also a little yellow stripe for safety. These buses were really, really popular all over the country. City transit companies loved them. Heck, if you even saw the movie Speed, that's what they drove in that movie, was one of these new look buses. So, let's set her down. And that, guys, is the Corgi 150th scale die-cast GM 5302 transit bus for the Chicago Transit Authority in the Bicentennial paint scheme. These were limited to only 500 pieces worldwide, and they sold out incredibly fast. If you can find them, they're $250 to at least today. They're running $250, and that's if you can find one. Most people don't want to let them go.
Would you like me to do more bus reviews? They are not my area of expertise, but I do have a few in my collection, and I like many of them for their practicality and their classic iconic designs, like the GM New Look Transit Bus. Just let me know down in the comments. While this bus is long sold out, I do have other buses for sale on my website, farmtoysandmore.com. Also, I've got a free report on Skeele that you can grab with the link in the description below. It'll let you know what items are most common in the most popular scales of models. And as always, please smash that like button to really help me out with the algorithm. Drop your comments below. Share this video with your friends and your followers. And of course, subscribe and ring that bell to get notified of all of my future videos, where I do lots of die-cast product reviews and more histories of the real machines. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.